How's it going, everybody? Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. We are here every day, Monday through Friday, noon Pacific, 3 Eastern, Sundays, 3 Pacific, 6 Eastern. Yep, I'm here today, and we're going to do a show. We got a lot of news to talk about. I don't want to talk too much about the weekend. Maybe you've heard about it. Maybe I'll talk about that later on today, but got us a lot of stuff to catch up on here today. Obviously, there was no show yesterday. I was unavailable. Mike was unavailable, but we're here today. If you want to talk about the NXT show, NXT TakeOver, that obviously is something to talk about here today. The Ring of Honor internal investigation, which is taking place after an incident at a Sunday event in Portland, Oregon. This was not the show in Kent, Washington. So my main witnesses, Vinny and Craig, were not there for the event, but I have witnesses everywhere. So I've got some updates on that story there. We got, obviously, the Raw and SmackDown show to talk about here today. Believe it or not, and honest to God, I can't even believe this, but they're doing it anyway. They are vowing for the third week in a row that Brock Lesnar is going to cash in the briefcase on the show tonight. For all I know, it may happen. The point of this is, even if it does happen, they teased this 2 weeks ago, and the second week that they teased this, nobody bought it. And why they would bother doing it for a third time, I mean, I guess the difference here is the company is commanding him to cash in. I guess that's the storyline, but that's what they're claiming for tonight, so we'll see. We've got a title change this weekend. The 24/7 title changed hands. We've got the return of The Undertaker coming up. I got the full lineup for the show in the undisclosed location, which is Saudi Arabia, and so much more. If you want to give us a call here today, 844-411-5411. That is toll-free, 844-411-5411. Text messages, 425-780-7566. Lots of news to get into here today. We'll kick it off after the break. Wrestling Observer Live. Back here in the show, Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. Mike Sempervive, also of WrestlingObserver.com. You know, I was not going to talk about this. I don't want to waste everybody's time. There's a lot of news to get into, but honest to God, I will not be able to do the show if I don't get this off my chest. Especially because I just, literally during the break, got the tweet that the replay made it up to independentwrestling.tv of this Saturday's event. Listen, everybody. This was supposed to be a no-holds-barred match between myself and Marko Stunt. This was supposed to be a no-holds-barred match between me and Marko Stunt.
One-on-one.
Okay. I was brutally attacked by his brother.
Yeah.
I was brutally attacked by his mother.
Yeah.
I was brutally attacked by his father. I was brutally attacked by the fans. Okay? If you don't believe this, all of this evidence is on my Twitter timeline right now, at Bryan Alvarez. The entire Stunt family, the fans, everybody. The fact of the matter is this. And by the way, anyway, the fact of the matter is this.
Indiana's a horrible state.
Forget Indiana. The fact of the matter is this.
I'm trying.
My leg is not broken. I don't care what goofy shirt Marko Stunt tweets out there. I broke Brian's leg. My leg is not broken. Yes, my leg is thrashed, okay? If you watch the video of the moonsault, it's patently obvious. Both of my knees thrashed. One of them in particular. It's not bad. Like, it's soft tissue damage, I won't lie, but it will heal, just like everything else. And I realize this video is up right now, but first thing this morning, I was up, I was in my attorney's office, and I attempted to keep this video from being put up at all. But unfortunately, obviously, they decided to put up anyway. I will be filing a lawsuit. I don't want to talk about this anymore on today's show. If you've got comments on this, I don't want to talk about it on the show. I have been urged to say as little as possible. But everything that I just said, by the way, was a fact. the brother, the mother, the father, the fans. These are all facts. There are clips on my Twitter of all of these things. I'm not lying about any of this. So, point of this is, I am filing suit against IndependentWrestling.tv. I'm filing suit against Black Label Pro. And I'm filing suit against the entire Stunt family. I am asking for $1,000 in damages for every time this video is viewed at IndependentWrestling.television. So, if you're a fan of Black Label and IndependentWrestling.tv and the Stunt family, I urge you, do not watch this video. Every play, I am requesting $1,000, and I will not lose this suit. So, just want to get that off my chest. I'm warning everybody now. I realize the link is up there. Do not click the link. Do not sign up. Do not watch the video. Or all three, IndependentWrestling.tv, Black Label Pro, and the Stunt family, destitute by the end of this. That's all I'm going to say. We can move on now.
So you're going to own that trailer they live in, and deservedly so. That woman attacked. I don't like that woman. I don't like that woman at all.
All right. Did you watch TakeOver this weekend?
I did.
Okay, my whole weekend was ruined. So I've caught up on all of the news, but I've not watched TakeOver yet. I apologize to everybody. I was going to do a show with Vinny on Sunday night, but because of everything that happened, it just wasn't going to happen. I haven't seen the show yet.
No apologies. You were injured, for heaven's sakes. You hurt your knees. How can you watch something when you get hurt like that?
I was injured. I had tough training days or travel days. It just wasn't going to happen. But we will.
Crap about their family. What about your family, Brian? What about your family?
My family suffered all day yesterday too, and I hope they're happy about that. My 3-year-old suffered. My pregnant wife suffered. Everybody suffered. So anyway, like I said, I'll be watching and reviewing the TakeOver show, and Vinny and I will review that on Thursday, because normally the NXT TV show that airs after the TakeOver events, those end up being mostly recap shows. So we'll just watch the show and review, and maybe we'll even get Granny's comments on it. And by the way, if you only knew how Granny was feeling today, there's another one. There's another victim in all of this. Besides myself and my 3-year-old and my wife and my unborn child, my 89-year-old grandmother. Yeah. So I hope everybody's happy about all of this. All right. What'd you think of TakeOver?
Well, just like every TakeOver, it was really good. It was, again, a really good show. It was I don't know if it even went 3 hours. In fact, I don't think it did. It was just a really clean, a really good show. I'm going to say something really unpopular here. I think sometimes Johnny Gargano, it's a little too much. The match is going on a little too long and all that sort of stuff. But look, you could pick nits at anything. It was just really good.
32-minute main event.
Outstanding, and told a great story. And again, I don't want to pick on it too much or anything like that, but I thought it was excellent. You know, it's like the ladder match. I think one day we're going to see, I'm wondering what we're going to see first, a broken neck or like a compound fracture. I'm a little worried in the way, especially multi-person ladder matches have gone, but what a story for the Street Profits. What a story for Montez Ford and for Angelo Dawkins, who has been there. You know, he's like an NXT original, and the people there know that. And they pointed it out on the pay-per-view too, but it's something with the NXT fans and their product that they're very close to, and wrestling fans are like this anyway, but NXT especially, where that meant something to them. Io Shirai losing, so Shayna Baszler gets another great win under her cap, but Io doesn't lose anything with the attack afterwards, and that story continuing on with Candice and them. Everything just flowed really well, and then obviously Adam Cole, you know, ending with him winning the title and the match with Gargano. I mean, I don't know if I liked it as much as some people, but it was excellent. You know, I don't think it was the match of the year or anything this year. I know some people are saying, man, it goes along with one of the greatest WWE matches of all time. Again, I don't think it was that good, but who the hell cares? It was pretty great. So again, just another great TakeOver card that it basically leaves you wanting more. You know, they give you more than, you know, enough when it comes to great matches and moments and all that sort of stuff. Oh. It's a handful of matches and just keeps itself moving on. Oh. What's up? Oh. Yes. Oh no.
Not only did they put this video up, they spelled my name wrong.
Oh.
You have got to be kidding me. Like, you got to be kidding me.
I'm laughing, but I'm offended.
Let's go to the phones. You're on the air. What's going on?
Hey, Brian. Hey, Mike. This is Lucas calling out in Nebraska. Hey, two things. First, I want to say that I hope you put the entire Stunt family out on the street. It is unfair what they did to you.
Telling me.
Mom works anyway.
Coming to them in the end.
Hey, listen, I will say this. I warned everybody I warned all of the fans of Black Label, IndependentWrestling.tv, and the Stunt family not to watch that video. But listen, if you are not a fan, I urge you to watch the video. We can put them on the street together.
I'll watch the video. I'll watch it 20 times just to add that extra grand every time. Because I want your wallet to get fat. I want you to be walking out of that courtroom richer than you ever have been.
Thank you. Right? You're a real fan.
Because that's what you deserve.
Thank you.
It's not about money. It's about justice.
Now, hey, really, the reason I'm calling, I got a question.
Yes.
I got a question about Bray Wyatt.
Yes.
After this is all said and done, is he a face or a heel? I don't get it. I genuinely don't understand, because the vignettes make him, I guess, almost like a face.
Uh-oh, your phone's going. Your phone's going. Hey, listen, when I win this lawsuit, I'll pay to get you a better phone. But here's my thoughts on Bray Wyatt, okay? I don't know what they're going to do with the guy. But my impression from watching this, and I don't even know why I bother, because analyzing WWE is a fool's errand. Analyzing WWE, honest to God, is a bigger fool's errand than facing the whole Stunt family. To me, Bray Wyatt's character is a guy who is extraordinarily troubled, and he sincerely wants to change, and he wants to get help, and this is him trying to be a good person. Now, this is very, this may be way too deep for WWE to properly handle, but done correctly, that's a great character. And there's a lot of directions you can go with that. He wants to be a good guy, but he has a very dark side that no matter how he tries to push it to the back, it continually comes out here and there. Is he a babyface? Is he a heel? I don't know. We'll find out. Now, whether they'll do that, I don't know. But I do think that would be a very compelling character. Back in a moment with more Observer Live. Back on the show, Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. Mike Sempervive, also WrestlingObserver.com. One thing that does make me feel better is that I may have to watch this week's NXT television if they put the Keith Lee-Kona Reeves match on television. The idea of that match brings me such joy. On my Twitter right now, at Bryan Alvarez, I have a statement, if you'd like to read it. It involves the match, which is now available at IndependentWrestling.tv. Do not watch this match. I have filed suit against at Indie Wrestling, at Black Label Pro, and the entire Stunt family, requesting $1,000 in damages per video play. Do not have it on your conscience that you left all of them destitute. This is in your hands. It will be your fault. Don't do it. A couple of notes on tonight. From the front page of WrestlingObserver.com, WWE is again teasing that Brock Lesnar will cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase on Raw. Paul Heyman posted a video today announcing that Lesnar is cashing in his Money in the Bank briefcase on this coming Monday's episode of Raw between the hours of 8 and 11 Eastern. Heyman said Lesnar would be cashing in on Universal Champion Seth Rollins. Wow. So I guess Kofi can show up. On Twitter, Rollins responded to Heyman's video. Dude won his Money in the Bank contract without even participating in a match. Now is, quote, cashing it in via his advocate on social media. Who even is Lesnar anymore? Hope you're not lying, Paul. Bring this goon to Raw so I can stomp out what's left of him. WWE.com also posted an article about Heyman's announcement and added it to the Raw preview. So, get this, everybody. They're promising you that tonight on the show, between 8 and 11, Brock Lesnar will cash in versus Seth Rollins. That is what they are promising you. Let's all remember that for tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
SmackDown, and keep in mind this SmackDown preview came out Saturday afternoon, so I mean, if any of this happens, I'll be stunned. Roman Reigns and the Usos versus Drew McIntyre and the Revival in a 6-man tag. I guess that's for Raw. Then we have SmackDown. Hey, wait, that's the Raw. So what's the SmackDown? Oh, here we go. Here's SmackDown. I apologize, everybody. I've been befuddled.
Traumatic weekend.
Moment of Bliss talk show segment on the episode. Keep in mind they promised a Kevin Owens segment last week at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on Tuesday and still didn't deliver it. SmackDown champion Bayley will be Alexa Bliss's guest. Also, an exclusive interview with Lars Sullivan on Tuesday. It's a go-home show for the Super Showdown, where Sullivan is set to face the Lucha House Party in a 3-on-1 handicap match in Saudi Arabia. Goldberg is going to be appearing on Tuesday's SmackDown, and that is the plan. Now, the one thing I will say about this Brock Lesnar-Seth Rollins thing, like, I presume they're not going to actually do a championship match tonight with the cash-in. Maybe they will. I mean, there's a lot of desperation right now regarding the ratings. But, I mean, one way or the other, whatever happens, I mean, Brock doesn't have a match for the Super Showdown, and he's on the card. So something's going to happen tonight, and I guess we'll find out what it is. I suppose it's possible that he'll win the title, and it'll become a three-way in Saudi Arabia. I suppose it's possible that he could lose at the hands of somebody. I don't even know who it would be, and he would face them in Saudi Arabia. I mean, they could also just not do the match, and maybe somebody could spoil the match. I don't know what they're going to do, but one way or the other, we got to have a Brock Lesnar match, our 10th match for the show coming up on Friday.
Your alternate WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's equal to WrestleMania, everybody. This person here says, Brock has been the most entertaining in what feels like years, and now they're trying to stop that? Apparently they must have sold all those boom boxes, and now they're just ready to get rid of it. Well,
I don't know if Brock is going to, like, pop and lock. Like, I don't as entertaining as Brock is with this and the short doses of him coming to the ring with it, like, I'm not sure that that's not going to get long in the tooth if they keep, doing what they're doing, which is not have him cash in and just have him be like an outside player. As entertaining as it is, it's not going to help anything.
Man, this person here notes that Dave once again called Cole and Gargano one of the best WWE matches of all time. He says it's getting 5 stars again. It would be Gargano's 4th 5-star or better match, which, by the way, if that happens, then if you take stock in Dave's star ratings, that would mean that, per the Observer, statistically, Johnny Gargano is the greatest wrestler in the history of WWE. I mean, I think he is right now. I don't think anyone else has ever gotten 3 5-star matches. This would be 4.
Yeah, I think they were going through that last time, who may have had it and who didn't. And, he's got great matches and great moments. Again, I am not as... And it's, again, this is not to, kill the match or anything like that. I didn't think it was 5 stars. I don't think it falls in that group. But then again, I guess if you're a hardcore NXT fan, certainly if you're a fan of Johnny Gargano, you're just telling me to shut up right now and saying, yeah, all of this is true. So regardless, what it does also remind everyone is, that whole show is, WWE's problems. You can't do exactly the same things on the main roster, but one thing that NXT's got going for it is it's very traditional pro wrestling, how it's laid out, how it's presented, how it's taped in a way and given to you. And, it proves that this can still work. Yes, it's on a smaller scale. Yes, they have some of the same fans and all that sort of stuff, but those same tactics that you use, those same ways you built those guys up and got people emotionally invested in them, that can be done on the main roster.
This person here says there's a 50-man battle royal in Saudi Arabia. That's what Brock is doing. Well, there's a difference, obviously, between a battle royal and a Royal Rumble. If it's a Royal Rumble, sure, he comes in last and does whatever, but you're going to have 50 dudes, which, by the way, the original 50-man was a Royal Rumble. Think about this.
It was the greatest Royal Rumble.
The WWE ring is 20 feet by 20 feet, okay? That's 400 square feet. And there's going to be 50 giant dudes in that ring when it begins. Did they think about this before they booked this match? That's crazy. And no, I don't see one of those 50 guys being Brock Lesnar. I guess I could be wrong.
What's the biggest ring you've seen? Because, even for boxing...
20 by 20.
When you have
WWE ring.
A mover, in there, the ring is usually, it's going to be no bigger than that. It's usually 15 or 18. Yeah, but 20 is on the larger size. Exactly what can you do and how can you reinforce it for all those people in there at one time?
Think about how many think about even Royal Rumbles we've seen. And at some point, invariably in the last few years, there's always that moment where you're like, dude, there's too many guys in the ring. Nobody can do anything. Like, some people have to be thrown out. That's at most a 30-man Royal Rumble. And it's never close to 30 guys. You're starting with all of those guys in the ring plus 20 more. Madness.
So what do you think, then? If they actually do that, within, 30 seconds, 15 people are dumped out immediately?
I would certainly hope so. This person says Brock has to tease cashing in against only Seth because Kofi's in Ghana all week. Yeah, he went running. That's what happened. This person says, any truth to the story about Bully Ray and Ring of Honor? Well, funny you should ask. I will talk about that after the next commercial break because it's going to take more than 2 minutes. So let's go to the phones. You're on the air. What's going on?
Hi, this is Christopher from Connecticut.
Yes.
I was at TakeOver Live on Saturday, so I was not able to see you tapping out clean in the middle to the Miz's...
Clean in the middle? What are you talking about?
The Miz's move
Get out
to a
of here.
child.
Oh, shut up. What's your question?
So...
Yeah, from Connecticut. What a coincidence.
I will confirm that Keith Lee versus Kona Reeves was awesome, and the Mia Yim won again against Bianca, so I assume they're going to be doing something with her. And I wanted to ask, do you think... I know you haven't watched TakeOver yet, but so Io, the post-match beatdown with her against Shayna was pretty awesome. And the thing that immediately popped in my head with that, because they've been pushing the friendship with Candice lately, is Io turning heel, getting the championship, and Candice chasing her. And I was wondering what you thought about that idea. And also, I would like to say with the Gargano Cole stuff is, I actually thought that was a lot better than the first match. I was not that hot. I mean, it was obviously a great match, but on the first match, I wasn't that hot on it.
Really?
I still think the CN match was better than both of those, and part of this might be being there live, but I felt like the psychology with this one was a lot better than the New York one.
How about that? I thought their first match was absolutely incredible. I thought the story of the match was great. I thought all the near falls, the way that they worked them I thought that match was awesome. I'll watch this one and see how it goes. I haven't seen the Io Shirai stuff yet, but I mean, Io Shirai destroying her after the match sounds like they're going to do it again. And if they're going to do a feud, if they're going to do a series of matches, I mean, there's no reason really for the babyface to win in the first one. I mean, NXT is all about the chase. And delivering, by the way, in the end. Sometimes WWE is all about the chase and not delivering. NXT delivers. Now, I suppose you could do something with Candice. I mean, like I said, they may do a TV match with Mia Yim, where she gets a championship match. The one thing I like about that is Mia Yim was brought into the Mae Young Classic, and she was just going to be one of like a bunch of women involved. And she got over huge. The fans chanted, "Please sign Mia." And so they signed her, and they knew she was over, and so they're doing something with her. That's awesome. Back in a moment, Observer Live. Back on the show, Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. Mike Sempervive, also of WrestlingObserver.com. All right, so as noted, there were Ring of Honor shows in the Northwest on, let's see, would have been Saturday and Sunday? Yeah, Saturday, because I was gone. Mm-hmm. So Saturday was in Kent, Washington, and Vinny and Craig went there, so they can talk about that tomorrow night. And Sunday was in Portland, Oregon. And an incident occurred there. First, this from WrestlingObserver.com. First reported by John Pollock of Post Wrestling. Ring of Honor is launching an internal investigation. That sounds familiar. After a fan incident at Sunday's state-of-the-art event in Portland, Oregon. Josh Ketch, a fan who attended the show, tweeted several times Sunday that after he was heckling some of the female heels, Velvet Sky and Mandy Leon, in several of the matches, security took him backstage, left him with Bully Ray. According to Ketch, LaMonaco intimidated him, told him he was done talking to the women, and needed to treat them with respect. He told Ketch to go be a fan, at which time security brought him back to his seat. Ketch didn't indicate whether he remained for the whole show. Ketch also said that Leon face-palmed and spat at him, and that Sky got into it with him as well, spraying perfume in his mouth at one point. Ketch never admitted to using obscenity or foul language, but said after Velvet called him a virgin, he reminded her that, quote, she has sex with that fat turd Bully Ray, and said he called them, quote, the Tramp Stamp Trio. ROH GM Greg Gilliland issued the following statement to Post Wrestling. ROH has always taken fan-first approach, with fan experience being at the forefront of all of our live events. We consider this to be very serious. We'll be conducting an internal review over the next 48 hours to determine the appropriate actions. So, this is what this fella tweeted as of Saturday night. He says, story time. I avoided saying anything until the show was over to avoid any further issue, but this honestly soured me to Ring of Honor in a big way. Honest to God, story that can be backed up by about a half dozen people. Show starts, dark matches, some local girls fighting, Allure interviews, that's the that's Velvet Sky and Mandy Leon and Angelina Love. Velvet and I exchange words along with the rest of Allure, nothing crazy. Mandy Leon spits on me from the side, not preferable, but I honestly don't care. Segment ends. And he adds, side note, I love and respect 99% of all wrestlers. I honest to God never try to make the show about me, get myself over, etc. My rule of thumb is to boo the bad guys and cheer the good guys. It is rare that I'll flip the script, but I always decide to go along with the show. Some opening match happens, wildly unimportant. Second match occurs, it's a local versus local. Allure interferes at the end. I'm mouthing off to all the girls for no reason other than they're the bad guys. Quote, boo, you're trash, get lost, no one wants you here, etc. At some point, Velvet Sky seemingly loses her cool and is challenging me to come in the ring. Tells me to suck it, calls me a name, etc. No problem, get your heat. She calls me a virgin. I remind her she has sex with that fat turd Bully Ray. Call them the Tramp Stamp Trio, end segment. She goes to the back. Fast forward about 5 minutes, I get a tap on the shoulder. Quote, hey, we're with security. Need to talk to you about an incident that occurred. Immediately, I think of the Allure stuff, but think that maybe Mandy got in trouble for spitting and face-palming me. Then I kind of think it's a joke. I look around, no sign of a joke from my buddies or the crew. I'm super perplexed. Think there's maybe miscommunication because nothing so far was a big deal at all. I oblige and follow security. Security takes me legit backstage. I'm still perplexed by the entire thing. Was honestly very hesitant to follow them because they kept saying, quote, we need to talk to you about an incident. No details behind, just leading me into the back. What's happening? What's waiting for me? Get to the back, security is just asking me to be patient. What's going on? Just sit tight. Sure, what's up? Hold tight. Time was slowing down, but this was all happening so fast. Suddenly, Bully Ray comes out from a back room. Full-on gear since he was in the opening segment of the show, and he looks pissed. Much bigger than me, so I'm kind of taking a step back on this here. Security backs off, and it's just us two. He said, quote, hey, I heard there was an incident tonight with you and some of the girls. I said, yeah, I guess, and I'm very lost. He says, so here's the deal. You're done talking down to them. You need to treat them with respect. Don't be saying anything you wouldn't say to your mom. You got it? I'm not trying to act tough. I was legit being intimidated with purpose, and I wasn't about to get kicked out during match 3, so I just bit the bullet and said, sure, yes, sir, yeah, I understand, yep. He said, end of convo, go be a fan. Security led me back to my seat. That's the end in regards to a timeline of events. The whole thing is still completely unbelievable and surreal, honestly. I've gone to live events for 15 years, been following wrestling for 22 years, never heard of something like this happening. So I can tell you that, obviously not Vinny and Craig, because they weren't at the show, but I do have friends who were at the show, and they were right there. Now, I can't speak to anything that happened when he went backstage, because they didn't go backstage with him. But as far as everything that he said, those that were there with him said that's absolutely 100% what happened. What he said is what happened when he was out there. Now, what happened when he was taken backstage, I don't know. Obviously, if Ring of Honor wants to give their side, I'd be happy to hear it. The one thing that I'm just... If anything that I'm really flabbergasted by, it's Bully Ray, of all people, telling a fan that you are not allowed to heckle the heels and you can't say anything to them that you wouldn't say to your mother. What?
This is the same guy who made his bones and his name in ECW by saying some of the most vulgar, nasty things to women alongside Joel Gertner in the introductions of those Dudley teams, correct?
Listen, all I know is if I were working a show and, like, the fans were told, you're not allowed to say anything to Bryan that you wouldn't say to your mom, like, I'd be furious. Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
I say personally that we land somewhere in the middle, and I will tell Bully Ray, genius booker and radio show host, that how about this? I won't say anything to Velvet Sky if I'm a fan of one of your shows that I wouldn't say to Marko Stunt's mom. So I think that's a good settlement right there. So I will treat Velvet Sky with the same level of respect that I would treat Mama Stunt with. So we'll see how that works out for you.
Well, that's the story, and ROH claims internal investigation should be done soon, so I guess we'll give everybody the update when we know the update.
And remember, even though you did say that everybody seemingly is saying who was right there, yes, this is exactly what happened. We don't know what's happened backstage yet, other than this gentleman's point of view and talking to, which some people have said this is not the first time this has happened with people, although we're still waiting to see any proof of that with anybody else's statements or anything like that, but I guess we will see.
Now, in covering all sides, I got this from somebody that just texted that Josh Guy got in trouble during the dark matches. He was going to be an issue for the tapings, disrupting the show, and likely saying things that can't be said on TV. He was lucky to just get a warning. Well, I mean, to be fair, you're saying he was going to be an issue, and he was likely going to be saying things. Like, you can't punish someone for what you think they're likely to do. Like, did he do something wrong or not?
Yeah.
If he did something wrong, then he did something wrong.
I'm sorry, but here's the thing too, and because again, I'm not saying that the ECW language I need to hear it return. Look, I'm a 43-year-old guy who brings kids to wrestling shows. I can see where some of the language is. I'm not trying to hear some of it too. With that said, isn't that security's job? Is Bully Ray also the head of security for Ring of Honor? Why are they getting involved? Why should this not just be a security issue that separates itself from the wrestlers? Because you already have security that's on hand via Ring of Honor through Sinclair Broadcasting. That's enough of a liability for ROH. They don't need wrestlers and other people getting involved in dealing with issues with fans. It just opens you up to more problems.
All right, let's go to the phones. You're on the air. What's going on?
Yeah, I don't think the guy did anything wrong. It's probably the comment about, oh, you have sex with Bully Ray and everything. That's probably what got him in trouble or something like that. But on the subject of like the foul language and everything, the monologue thing before ROH shows is funny. It does ask you not to use like the foul language and gestures and everything.
Well, it does say that.
Yeah. And it's being aired for TV. Look, that's one of the reasons why, too. And, I mean, there is, as Mean Gene would say, a little decorum, please. But still, you cannot – that's, again, if you're going to talk to the guy and you think he's going to be an issue because of things he said before the show begins, make sure that you kind of check those guys then and say, hey, if we do have any problems, we are going to come over here. So, again, there seems to be a disconnect here with the stories, and we'll just have to see how it plays out.
All right, anything else?
Yeah, and the Ramu Takahashi is confirmed to be returning at the BOSJ final.
There you go. That's right. Yep. They actually, you know what? They said he was going to be back in July, and sure enough, it looks like he's going to be back in, I guess it would be June, right? Best of the Super Juniors finals coming up here very soon.
And a lot of people kind of, people were wondering if would he show up and make an appearance at the Garden when they were there in April and all that sort of stuff. It's like, nah, if he comes back, it's going to be in Japan, and what would make the most sense is him making an appearance if he is going to be ready to go for the summer at some point during the summer at the Best of the Super Juniors, which obviously is going to happen with the whole deal with I guess, is it a new cat? We've got a new cat, a new name. A little on the reddish side, on the pinkish side. I guess you have not seen this yet?
I have not seen this yet, no.
Yes, a new cat.
Shingo Takagi, Will Ospreay this Wednesday will determine the Best of the Super Juniors winner. Ospreay beat Taguchi to win the B block. Takagi beat Taiji Shimori Friday to win the A block. Takagi undefeated throughout his A block matches, 9-0 record, 18 points. Ospreay 7-2 and 14 points. His losses against El Phantasmo and Robbie Eagles. The winner of Takagi Ospreay will challenge for Dragon Lee's IWGP Junior Heavyweight title at Dominion on Sunday, June 9th. Sumo Hall in Tokyo is hosting Wednesday's Best of the Super Junior Finals. It will be airing on New Japan World, 5:30 a.m. Jon Moxley making his New Japan debut on the show, challenging Juice Robinson for the IWGP U.S. Heavyweight title. And Hiroshi Tanahashi will take on Jay White. So that's the lineup. Should mention that we had a title change over the weekend. R-Truth was golfing, which actually is the most preposterous thing in this story.
Why?
And he had because he had his belt on the golf cart. Like, hello? Don't bring that thing with you, you idiot. So he got attacked by, of all people, Jinder Mahal, who apparently was also golfing. And Jinder Mahal won the championship, but then he was defeated by R-Truth. We talked about a couple of weeks ago how they had been given, the social media department had been given the okay to do title changes on social media. And this was one of them here. And they've got some other ideas, and I won't spoil it, but there is a title change coming that actually makes a lot of sense, and I think will be pretty interesting. So I'll just leave it at that. But that's the story on the 24/7 title. And there was also a title change on Tuesday's SmackDown as well. I don't know if we talked about that here on the show, because it wasn't that big a deal. But it was determined that the big stars don't care one bit about this belt, in case you didn't know. Back in a moment, Wrestling Observer Live. Back in the show, Bryan Alvarez here, Wrestling Observer Live. Mike Sempervive, also of WrestlingObserver.com. Hamish does not like the 24/7 title. It's not the Attitude Era, he says. This 24/7 thing is just not fun anymore. But I guess some people love it. Here's the deal with the 24/7 title. It's just giving the geeks something to do. The main eventers want nothing to do with it. If some people like it, fine. I right now do not see a problem with the 24/7 title. It's an extra something for people to do that aren't normally on television. It's really not getting in the way of anything. I don't think it's hurting the show. And if some people think that it makes the show a little bit better, then I'm fine with that. It's a useless title. I mean, there's literally no point to it. But it is something a little extra that can be done. I don't think it's going to boost the ratings in any way, but it's something to me that is harmless.
Nah, it boosts social media numbers, and they'll love that. And there's a lot they do on social media that nobody sees anyway. So maybe seeing some of this stuff might get people into staying on and seeing some of these videos that they put out that are usually very good that you don't see on WWE TV. So, yeah, and I like Psych Ags, like everybody else who's listening to this show. I mean, there's a place for sports entertainment, not a 3-hour show. You can definitely have, like, the Benny Hill segment. It's just if the thing becomes too overdone with it, then yeah, we're going to have a problem. If it's in every single segment, somebody running through the screen.
All right, we're out of time, everybody. As noted, if you go to my Twitter right now, at Bryan Alvarez, there is a statement from myself regarding the Marko Stunt match over the weekend. The video is available at independentwrestling.tv. I urge all fans of Black Label Pro, independentwrestling.tv, and the Stunt family not to watch this match, as I have filed suit requesting $1,000 per play. And boy, it's going to be some money coming my way. Do not watch it if you'd like to support the family. Although, as noted, if you don't like the family, watch it 10 times. We'll all celebrate together in the end. I want to thank you all for listening. Mike, as always, callers and listeners, talk to you next time. Wrestling Observer Live.